FHM 7 Birth of the Bolt series. And for the next hour or two, maybe, we're going to be playing all 7 games, up to 7 games, as the Tampa Bay Lightning, at least in this alternate universe, have moved into the playoffs, and they will face the Quebec Nordiques in a best of 7 to determine who advances to the round of 8, which we are currently in NHL play, oddly enough. And hello, everybody. Big Polly coming to you. Here is how things lay. This was the strike-shortened year of 1995. We finished 6th in the Eastern Conference, so we get Quebec. You get the number that adds up to 9 when you include your seeding. So 6 plus 3 is 9. So Quebec is who we're going to face. We're going to go to Quebec and play 2. Then we come back home, play them twice, and then we will alternate sites until one team has won 4 games. And of course, we use the sudden death overtime format. We keep playing 20-minute periods until somebody scores a goal. We'll show you the brackets real fast. Tampa Bay was the first team in this sim in the 90s, that were expansion teams in the 90s from San Jose onward to make the playoffs. And now they get a golden opportunity here to move on to the round of 8 against Quebec, a team they just defeated not too long ago. So we will allow the coaching staff to set up their own lines here. And for the first game, it's going to be, and thankfully the face gen is working, John Casey and Ron Hextall, formerly of Philadelphia, in goal. And we're going to play out all games, whether it be 4, 5, 6, or 7, for you right here and now on this live stream. And off we go. Recording date was June 9th, 2021, the day after in real life the Lightning made the Stanley Cup semis. They'll get either the Boston Bruins or the New York Islanders next, probably in a few days, unless the Islanders clinch tonight as I record this. And we got a slashing penalty against Gusarov, so Tampa Bay off to a good start. See if they can get a goal here. Draw first blood, get the blood pumping. They already got the first 2 shots. Half a minute left in the power play. It expires, and we're back to even strength. First game of a best of 7. We'll try to keep you posted as to keep you updated as to who is ahead in the series, because there is no graphic for that on here. And Tampa Bay draws first blood. Alfredson, assisted by Anderson and Hammerlick. And it's 1-0. In 1996, the Lightning lost the first round series to Philadelphia, hooking against Dean Kennedy, so Quebec now on the power play. Okay. 12.5 minutes. Quebec looking for the equalizer. Both goalies, their heat level is 3 right now, 3 Flames, and I don't mean Calgary. And Quebec equalizes. Norris assisted by Kamensky and Forsberg, and we're tied at a goal each in Game 1. So in the real life world, as I've been saying, we're down to 8 teams, although it's 7 now with the Lightning advancing over Carolina, where the Hartford Whalers in this sim would eventually move to. Montreal looking like they'll win their series with Winnipeg. Vegas and Colorado in quite a fight out west. And of course you got the Bruins and the Islanders going tonight. If the Islanders win, they clinch because they're up 3-2 in their series. So looking like the season's going to go into July. But basketball is also looking like they will not be done until July. We're down to 5.5 left in the first period of Game 1. It is 8-4 in favor of Tampa Bay. Whoever wins 4 games first wins the series, moves on to the next round. If the Lightning lose, but before we get to that, Bergevin, assisted by Bureau and Ken Hodge, and it's 2-1 Tampa Bay. If Tampa Bay loses this series, we will have the Stanley Cup final of 1995, play out the entire series there next week. If not, we will just play the whatever the quarterfinal round brings us. Under 2 minutes now left in the first. It's 2-1 in favor of Tampa Bay, 10 shots to 5 in favor of Tampa Bay. So Tampa off to a good start in this opening game. Wouldn't surprise me if they take Quebec here, and that's it. Timeout for the first period. 2-1. Tampa Bay leading in game 1. Little more than a minute gone by in the second period of this first game. Hoping you are all well as you see this on either the live stream or on the playback. "15.5 minutes left. And if you're new to the channel, also check out the Facebook group, also named Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims. We have 15 members, 15, 16 members, something like that. And you could get the latest news as to what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. 13 minutes now left, second period. Shots are now 12-10. With now closing in on 9 minutes gone by in the second period. 13 shots to 11. Hope you all have been enjoying the real life playoffs. Rays are playing today in Washington, against Washington, not in Washington. Rays continue to have one of the better records in Major League Baseball, despite losing a couple of their starters, Charlie Morton and Blake Snell. They've expanded capacity in what is now Tropicana Field, was the Florida Suncoast Dome, then the Thunderdome when the Lightning were their tenants. So we're now down to about 4 minutes left, a quiet second period in game number 1. And we will cover all games, weather permitting, outside weather permitting, because we had a thunderstorm here in the Tampa Bay area roll in last night about 9:30. So if that were to happen, I would just suspend operations and we would just wrap things up when the weather favors it. We are the Lightning capital of the world. That's why we're called the Lightning. Shots are 21-18. We've played 2 periods. Tampa Bay holding on to a tenuous 2-1 lead. Next goal will be critical if it comes. Either Quebec will equalize or Tampa Bay will go out to a farther lead. See what happens here. 23 shots to 19. Been a very good year for Tampa, even if they're eliminated in this first round, beating the happy that we beat the timetable of in real life. Tampa made the playoffs their 4th year, and here we have made it in season 3. We have a penalty slashing against Dean Kennedy again. So Quebec on the power play. They look to equalize. Shots have been very close to even. I have a feeling this will be a very good series. 23-20, but I do think Tampa Bay can take them. We'll see. 6 minutes gone by. Now 7. Play continues to be tenuous. Shots are a football score now, 24-21. Roughing against Mark Bergevin. So now Quebec on the power play again. See if they can cash in. Midway through the third now. Tampa Bay just got a shot shorthanded. 9.5 left in the third. Under 9 as we count down the minutes. Say hello to everybody watching in on YouTube and on Facebook. I simultaneously broadcast this on the Facebook group, so if you are not on YouTube, and you follow me on Facebook, you don't miss a thing. You follow my Facebook group. Under 6 left in the third period. It's still 2-1 Tampa Bay. And the action continues to be quiet, as was the case in the second period. But we're getting down to nut cutting time, as we're now at the 3-minute mark. Can I say nut cutting on here? Oh well. And Quebec gets the equalizer. Mike Howe assisted by Forsberg and Eriksson, and it's 2-2. So now we go to crunch time. Jim Bouton said nut cutting time in Ball 4. I'm reading that book again. I got it on Kindle. I have it on Kindle, so I'm reading that wonderful book. If you've never read Ball 4 by Jim Bouton, do yourself. It's a very big book, but very deep book. A lot of pages, a lot of reading, but it's a diary of Jim Bouton, who was with the Yankees, and then he wound up with the Seattle Pilots in their only year of existence in '69, and he writes a day-by-day diary. And he tells what happens as a ball player from the ball player's perspective. Okay, so we're 2-2. We're at 26 all on shots. And for the first time in franchise history, Tampa Bay playing sudden death playoff overtime. So we play a 20-minute period. We'll see who winds up on top. So this is the first game of the series. And we'll see what happens. Tampa Bay would love to get a win here and have the home ice advantage. We have gone through 3 minutes, nary a shot yet. And Quebec finally gets the first shot of the overtime. So they're up 27-26. And Tampa Bay just got a shot. Kennedy saved by Hextall. 1, 2, 3 shots in succession. 4 shots. In fact, the Lightning, in their first ever playoff game, he says, waiting for the game to update, lose in overtime. Okay. A little reversal of fortune there. It was Gronman assisted by Gusarov, and Quebec takes the first game home. 3-2 after 5:47 was played in overtime. Okay. The home team won. We were kind of expecting that. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So they take the first game, and we'll play out game number 2 as the Jack Adams nominees were announced, which I don't really care about. So let's play the second game. We will continue on. It is again Casey and Hextall in goal at Le Colisée in Quebec. I believe the Nordiques became the Phoenix and then later Arizona Coyotes. So this is the second game. Quebec won the first. And we will play out this series, whether it goes 4, 5, 6, or 7 for you, right here and right now. Keep you posted on any sports news that develops while this live stream is in progress. Of course, Julio Jones just recently signed up with the Tennessee Titans. He wants to wear number 2 instead of wearing number 11, which the new numbering conventions of the NFL allow. Five and a half gone by in this first period of Game 2. Quebec out shooting Tampa Bay 4-2, but it's early yet. Amerlik got a shot on goal. So did Eriksson of Quebec. Tarantinov. A shot missed by Creighton. Shot by Nolan misses. So it's 8-4 now in favor of Quebec on shots. We'll probably be watching the Rays game tonight and not Boston and the New York Islanders. Although I have the Score app and I have set it up for alerts for tonight, so I can know what goes on, and if time permits, I will watch the end of the Bruins game when we have a penalty roughing against Kaminsky. Tampa Bay with that 21% power play will be on the move. Last week I did my best attempt on the Meet with Big Paulie to cover the third game of the Lightning Hurricane playoff, which the Hurricanes won in overtime. Bradley assisted by Johnson and Veritsky, and it's 1-0 Tampa Bay. They again take the early lead. They took the lead in Game 1. Now they take the lead in Game 2. Of course, it didn't work out so well in Game 1. We hope you are all well, as I was saying earlier. As we go on. And let's see here. Been on the air about 17 minutes. Oh, we've ended the first period. I did not catch that. 1-0 Tampa Bay, though they trail in shots, 9-11. Start the second period of Game 2. Shots now 13-11. And Ledyard gets called for holding. Tampa Bay on the power play looking for that 2-goal lead, which no team has gotten in this series yet, although the series is young. You wonder how good the Lightning will be in 1995-96. And if we lose this first round series, we'll begin figuring that out in 2 weeks' time, as we move closer to the midway point of 2021. About 7 minutes gone by now in the third. Shots are 15-11. Two very evenly matched teams. It's Quebec with it now. They score and tie up the game. Kovalenko assisted by Norris and Sundin, and we're tied 1-1. Quebec very quickly gets another goal. Peter Forsberg assisted by Kovalenko and Howe, and it's 2-1. Or Huff, depending on how you pronounce that last name of Mike's. But even making the playoffs was a big victory for Tampa Bay. Even if we lose the first round in 4, we know we'll be back in 95-96. So I'm not too worried. If we win, we're playing with house money. We win this series, we're playing with house money. That's kind of how I feel about it. Shots are 19-11 now, Quebec. 2-1 they lead with under 7 left in the second. We're at the 5-minute mark, 15 minutes gone by. Tampa Bay stepping up the shots a little bit, but Quebec gets the third goal, and they get that 2-goal lead I was talking about that neither team had had. Kovalenko assisted by Forsberg and Howe, and it's 3-1. So if this score holds, then the third game, the first game played in St. Petersburg, will be the key. Because at the time, Tampa was playing at the Thunderdome, which is now Tropicana Field, which also used to be the Florida Suncoast Dome when it opened up in 1990. High-sticking Roman Hammerlick. So Quebec on the power play for the remainder of the second period and 3 seconds into the third. And this is trouble. This is trouble. The city of St. Pete, by the way, built the dome without any promise of getting a major league team. That's another story, which it took them about 8 years to get. Norris assisted by Klemensky. Forsberg, the route on now in Game 2, 4-1 Quebec. Roughing against Nolan and Bureau, coincidental minors. And Tampa Bay getting seriously outgunned in this second game. They trail 4-1 with 20 to go. So they got to get 3 back. They're a team built around their defense, so that might not be easy to do. Let's see, hooking with Anderson. So Quebec on the power play. I think another goal here. No, Ricky called for tripping, so it's 5-on-3 for Quebec. Ouch. I was saying a lot of that on the coach-up with Big Paulie on Monday. As the 76 Bucks come back to reality. Got hammered by Cincinnati. Check out the YouTube channel for that. Hello, Dave Gardner. Go Quebec. Yes. Haven't had a chance to hear your podcast yet. I know you released another one today. Just looking at Uncle Ron's doubleheader from the other day. He was doing Brooklyn and Boston on Labor Day of 49. High sticking against Mikkel Anderson. Well, Quebec's going. I'll tell you that. And now it's 5-1. Kaminsky assisted by Norris and Sakic. And it's 5-1. Yeah, this game was a blowout. Tampa Bay played much better in Game 1. Only losing 3-2 in overtime, but Quebec interference against Town. Now Tampa Bay with a power play, but it's way too late. You got to get 4 goals in 10 minutes. I don't think that's going to happen. 9.5 left to go. Nice sticking with Adam Creighton. So Quebec back on the power play. Sakic gives it right back on a trip. Under 7 to go. Wonder if Al Red Sox fan will be watching the Bruins game tonight. Because he was saying when he was talking to Gesture that the nurse gets very wound up watching the playoff games. Well, I'll watch it with her. Okay, 6-1. Kaminsky and assisted by Lindsay and Ledyard. Maybe we need a support chat for Al, Dave. Tonight. Under 5 to go. Because Boston needs to win tonight to keep it alive. And go to a 7th game. And then we'll get whoever wins. Under 3 to go. Yeah, this was not good. 3-1. 6-1. I'm sorry. 6-1. And Quebec. The shots don't lie. 35-19. This was not a great effort for Tampa Bay. But I'm happy we made the playoffs a year before we made the playoffs. Even if we lose 4 straight. And the Lightning are going to get a goal here. I think. To make it look a little closer than it actually was. But this was blowout city. You can score anytime you want to, guys. Nope, Quebec got another one. Lapointe assisted by Gutserov and Sakic, and let's just turn out the lights and let this party be over. 7-1. Quebec, the 3 seed, against Tampa Bay, the 6. And this was ugly. Tampa Bay had beaten Quebec in their last 2 regular season meetings, April 20th, April 29th. But Quebec playing very well at home, so now we go to Tampa, St. Petersburg actually at this time, and we'll see if the Lightning can pull off a stand here in Game 3. Continue knocking AI the lines. Casey and Hextall again, Sakic and Bradley, who we only see his left shoulder, will drop the puck and play Game 3. Quebec now up 2-0 in this third game as we are in the Thunderdome in St. Petersburg, which is about 10 miles from where I live. Just a short trip down 275 to 5th Street, 5th Avenue North to Martin Luther King Street, and then you're at the Dome. Fighting Kennedy and Nolan with fisticuffs is Tampa Bay. Shows you ain't going to push us around, boys. Delay a game against Tamerlake, so now Tampa Bay shorthanded quickly in this first game. And Quebec gets the first goal. They are in white now, and Tampa Bay in the dark colors when they show the little goal replay. Sakic assisted by Norris. And the good times are rolling for Quebec. They lead 1-0. First period of Game 3. They've gotten the first 6 shots now in a row. Now it's 7-1. Shot missed by Sedin. Shot blocked. Lindgren tried to get a shot off. A couple of shots missed here by Bergevin and Zamner. Crossman tried to get a shot saved by Hextall. We're 8:24 into the first period. Another shot block as Rice blocked a shot from Howe. Forsberg, shot saved by Casey. Some hitting going on. Another save by Casey as Nolan tried to sneak one past him. Huffman tries likewise. Some hitting. And we are now about 7 minutes left in the first, with Quebec up 1-0. Tampa Bay had their moments in the first game, but they haven't shown up for the second and so far the third. Casey having to make a lot of saves. 15-2 is the shot total right now. And a penalty finally. Norris tripping at 15:27. So Tampa with a 21% power play, which is normally good. And Tampa not doing much with their power play. They only got a couple of shots in, so it's 16-4 on the shot tally. Last minute of the first. It's been wash, rinse, and repeat for Quebec, although they just picked up another penalty. Sundin. So this will carry over to the second. And 16-5 was the shot total in the first. 1-0 Quebec on top. You're just tuning in. Quebec has won the first 2 games. They won 3-2 in overtime. About 6 minutes into the OT, they score a goal. But the second game was a total whitewash, 7-1. Creighton called for high sticking. So Tampa Bay cannot get out of their own way, at least in 95. First time you make the playoffs, you're happy you're there, and then in subsequent years, you start playing for blood. 15 minutes left in the second. Tampa Bay starting to get it going. They're starting to get some more shots on goal. And let's see, Sundin tripping again. Sundin, another trip to the box. Tripping against Brian Bradley. See, that's the problem with the Lightning is you get an advantage and you blow it on a penalty. By the way, Phil Esposito calls the games on radio for the Lightning, him and Dave Mishkin. And sometimes when you listen to Espo, he gets much more animated than they do on TV, and it's a fun listen. If you have an app called iHeartRadio, you could pick. They have a channel called Lightning Power Play. I think it's available anywhere, and when he calls the Lightning games, Espo dies about 1,000 deaths calling the games. Under 7 to go in the second of Game 3, Quebec was still with that 1-0 lead. You'll hear Espo say as Dave Mishkin's going, "What is he doing?" It's one of those things you have to listen to understand, but also makes me wonder how old Esposito is. He's got to be, I think, close to 80. How old is Phil Esposito, Siri? It's thinking about it.
Esposito is 79 years old.
79 years old, roughing against Kovalenko, and Tampa Bay back on the power play. Figured he had to be close to 80 by now. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Under a minute to go. And this will be it for the second period. Tampa Bay closing the shot gap to 4 now. It's 26-22, but Quebec with the 1-0 lead as we head to the third period. As we play on, Quebec with a 2-0 lead, so if they get this game here, it's like when the Mafia Don kisses you on the lips. If it's 3-0, it's practically over. Although there have been a few exceptions in history, in hockey and in other sports. Never happened in the NBA yet, I don't think. A team's been down 3-0 and come back to win it 4-3. We have a goal for Tampa Bay. Hodge, assisted by Crossman and Bradley. And we're a goal each. Third period, third game. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning quickly going down the ice. And they get another. Podine, assisted by Young and Ricky. Oh, wait a minute. That was a goal for Quebec. This has never happened before in the 2D version of the game. The horn went off, but usually the horn indicates the home team has scored a goal. Not the case, it was Quebec. So that threw me off. 2-1, so they have quickly answered Tampa Bay. And a hooking penalty against Anderson. Quebec going on the power play, looking to consolidate their lead. That has never happened before in all the time I've been playing the 2D version. It happens when I play 3D, where no matter who scores a goal, it boos everybody. Well, I've never had that happen in 2D. High sticking against Kenny Johnson, so now Tampa Bay on the power play. They need a goal to equalize. 35 shots to 24. Quebec now pulling away again. Kind of wonder if Tampa shot their wad in the second period. Early in the third to get even, and now they have nothing left here. Quebec can just steamroll them here midway through the third. 2-1. 37-26 is the shot tally. About 7 minutes to go now. All right, 37 shots to 26. Tampa Bay needs a goal here. They're going to be down 3-0 in games. Under 5. Sundin hit Hammerlick. Some hitting going on. Kennedy got a good hit in. Rice got a good hit in. It's now 38-26. Might want to pull the goalie early, guys. Try to get that second goal. Under 2. We'll watch to see if they pull Casey. And Bradley with the goal. Brian Bradley ties it up with 90 seconds to play, assisted by Chambers. Didn't look like they had pulled the goalie yet. So we're 2-2. And the fans at St. Petersburg will be treated to some free hockey here, it would appear. Overtime. Second overtime game of the series. This is game 3. 38-30 is the shot total after regulation. Let's play 20 more or less. Over a minute now gone by any OT. Who's going to get the goal? Who's going to... It'll either be a 3-0 lead, or the Lightning will get their first ever playoff win, at least in this alternate reality. Kovalenko, a tripping penalty. Now, this is something you wouldn't ordinarily see in 1995, them calling penalties in overtime. Usually it's like in a Texas death match here. It's always, well, I always used to call it, they usually put the whistles in their pocket and they let them play in overtime. And Quebec survives being shorthanded for a couple. Shots are now 40-33. We have a penalty against Forsberg. Tampa Bay gets another power play. Oh, boy. You'll see how this plays out. Tampa Bay not getting any shots here. In fact, I don't think they got any. So we go back to even strength, but for a second or two, as Mark Vergevin is called for holding. Now Quebec with the power play, and they could win game 3 here and take that usually insurmountable 3-0 lead. We're midway through the overtime, so this would be the longest game in Lightning history, because the first overtime game went 6 to this point. Of course, the Lightning last year in real life, they played a 5 overtime game with Columbus in the playoffs after everybody came back from COVID. 8.5 to go. Shots are now 44-34. As we wait and see who will get the go-ahead goal, the goal that will win it. This is the third game of the playoff. Quebec winning the first 2, 3-2 in overtime, and 7-1. Under 5 left in overtime period number 1. It's now 50-35. So Casey has now made 49 saves. Sakic called for roughing Tampa Bay back on the power play near the end of the first OT. And again, they cannot get shots on goal to save their lives. Under 2, penalty expires. Now down to about a minute left in the OT. And now, Quebec with a scoring chance. Tampa Bay with it now. Can Tampa Bay successfully push it up the ice? And a historic goal for the Lightning. Lafreniere wins it in overtime. Kennedy and Lindgren assist, and it's a 2-1 series. 3-2 is how this ends, but this time it's the Lightning who win. Bradley, Young, and Casey with 50 saves are your stars of the game. So the Lightning get one back, and we head to the 4th game. We will be with you until this series ends. We're going to play out all 7 games if we need to. So back to the Dome, under the Dome, Quebec and Tampa Bay. This is the 4th game. It's now a 2-1 series in favor of Quebec. Hextall doing better in goal with that .931 save percentage against Casey's .911. Sakic and Bradley, they each have 3 points, but Sakic doing a little better in the plus-minus. So we'll drop the puck and play out game number 4. Quebec winning the first 2, Tampa Bay in overtime, near the end of the first overtime, winning game 3. So now they look to even the series. And right off the bat, Tampa Bay feeling their oats. Bradley assisted by Alfredson and Zaminer. 1-0 in game 4. Very early goal. With 3 minutes gone by in the first period of the 4th game. Holding Hartman, Quebec on the power play now. Tripping against Kenny Huffman, so Tampa Bay will have a power play here in 31 seconds for 1:29. Both teams will be 4-on-4 for a little bit, and now Tampa on the power play. They've only got 1 shot on goal, and it was a goal, so you don't see that too often. As I was mentioning earlier, the Lightning in real life clinched their spot into the Final Four last night in Raleigh, North Carolina. Vasilevsky with a great game in net for Tampa Bay. And I think fans will be curious to see how they match up against either Boston or the Islanders in the next round. Boston and Tampa Bay have had some memorable meetings in recent years in the playoffs in real life, so that'd be a fun series to watch. Shots are now 8-6, Quebec in a hole, but now they have charged back. A slash against Adam Creighton, and now Quebec on the power play late in this first period of game 4. We'll go at least 5 games because Tampa Bay just won one. So if Tampa Bay wins the series, we'll play out the quarterfinal round next week. If they lose, we will go straight to the Stanley Cup and show you how that plays out next week. About 2 minutes left in the first. About 1.5 minutes to go. Quiet first period with the exception of the Tampa Bay goal. Into the second period, shots were even 10-10. Seeing an update that a man was hit by lightning and was killed at a golf course in New Jersey. And there it is, 2-0. Bureau assisted from Anderson. Bureau won the face-off and quickly scored. 2-0 now, Tampa Bay in front, game number 4. It's starting to look like we're going to need at least to go 6 games if Tampa should hold on and win. which is by no means a sure thing. Shots are 13-11. Happened to Lee Trevino once, and he was very lucky to survive his lightning strike, because you hold those those rods, those clubs in golf, and they're like a way to attract the lightning to you. So under 11 in the second, we are in the fourth game. Quebec leading 2-1. As this goes on, about 9 minutes left in the second. So we play. It was a strike-shortened year in 1995, so everybody, I think, only played like 48 games, which worked to Tampa Bay's advantage, because they were able to win and win consistently. First year we stunk because Brian Bradley got hurt most of the year. Second year we played better. The third year we played better than that. So under 5, second period, still a very close game. 2-0 is not really a very distant margin at all, not even in hockey. Gusarov holding, Tampa Bay on the power play. Power play goal would be nice. They're up 18-16 on shots. As we continue on through this second period of the fourth game, did the Lightning score again? They did, just as the power play had come to an end. Won't count as a power play goal. Zomner assisted by Creighton and Chambers. 3-0 Tampa Bay. But as I always say, the 3-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. Actually, I didn't say at first. It was a guy by the name of Don Cherry up in Canada, holding against Anderson. So once again, you see a goal, and then all of a sudden you see a power play. They seem to go hand in hand. Shots are 19-18 in favor of the Lightning. 3-0. We go to the third. So we could be looking at least a 6-game series. The way things look now, Tampa Bay looking way better in this game. Funny how momentum always seems to shift in a 7-game hockey series. Now Tampa Bay piling up the shots. They're up to 24-18, 15.5 to go. So if anybody out there is hearing this a little later on, go check out the Digital to Dice podcast. They did podcast number 92 today, which I believe was called How Long is Too Long? Interference against Mike Howe, Tampa Bay on the power play. And they've been doing it on the power play at least one power play goal. And then they got a goal right after a power play late in the second. About 10 minutes left to go in the third. Seven and a half. Quebec looking for a way to get off the schneid and get a score on the board. But with 4 minutes left, they're running out of time. Looking like we will have an even series going back to Le Colisée. Basically, this will become a best of 3. 2 minutes to go. Outstanding performance for the Lightning. Rice called for holding, so Quebec is on the power play. I'm sure they'll want to see if they could get a goal here and get one quickly. But we're already under a minute. And that's going to do it. Tampa Bay has evened the series at 2 games all with a 3-0 win at the Thunderdome against Quebec. So now we go back up to the Great White North for Game 5. Casey, 26 saves after a 50-save performance in Game 3. Zomner and Chambers also picking up stars. And we head to Game 5. And Quebec is on the road. We have some news. We have Ally Afraidy getting suspended in one of the playoff games. He has to miss 2 games. Gardner in a playoff game between the Rangers and the Whalers, which the Rangers pounded Hartford 7-0. Had a good game, 3 goals, no assists. Turcotte was also suspended, Turcotte of the Rangers. And Mellenby in an earlier game on May 12th, this is May 16th, he had Vancouver beat Edmonton 8-0. We should check the standings real fast. The playoff tree going into the 5th game for everybody. Pittsburgh is up 3-1. Islanders and Capitals, which might be Tampa Bay's next opponent, they're tied 2-2, as is Tampa Bay and Quebec. New York has clinched. They won a sweep over Hartford. Detroit swept Dallas. Kings and the old Winnipeg Jets are tied 2-2. Edmonton needs just one more win to get past Vancouver, and Chicago and St. Louis Blues are tied at 2 games each. So let's play the 5th game out between the Lightning and the Nordiques. Tampa won the last 2, Quebec the first 2. It's going to be Casey and Hextall still in goal. Not much has changed. And then Game 6 will be our first elimination game, possibly of 2. This is the 5th game so far. Quebec won the first game 3-2 in overtime. Then they pounded Tampa Bay 7-1 in Game 2. Tampa Bay came back, won 3-2 in a game that nearly took a full overtime period to win Game 3, and they just shut out Quebec 3-0 in Game number 4. It's been pretty even Steven so far in Game 5. Shots are 2-1 in favor of Quebec at this moment. 6 minutes gone by. If you have any money on the Bruins and the Islanders, the Bruins are 135, minus 135. Holding against Chambers, Quebec on the power play first in this 5th game. And the total on the Bruins-Islanders game is 5.5. Rays are 165 against Nationals, minus 165, and the total is 8. Juan Soto has just homered for Washington to take a 2-0 lead in Tampa. And this is Podine scoring, Foot and Sundin with the assist, 1-0 Quebec. As we have our first goal of game number 5. As we roll on in this 5th game, 8 minutes left in the first. It's 7-2. Now 8-3. Can the Lightning equalize? The answer appears to be yes. Hammerlick and Alfredson assisting Kenny Johnson, and it's 1 goal each. Okay, put the phone down and focus on the game here, Ollie. Under 6 in the first period. Tampa Bay tightening up the shot deficit. Only 8-5 now. Series is 2 games each. This is Game 5. Depending on what happens, if the Lightning wins, we will play the quarterfinal series next week. If they lose, we will play the Stanley Cup final next week. And Quebec goes back up 2-1. Kaminsky assisted by Ledyard and Howe, and it's 12-6 now on shots. Roughing against Dean Kennedy. And Quebec on the power play. We end the first period first. It's 2-1 Quebec, 13-7 on shots in favor of Quebec. I'm going to try to turn on the Rays game while I do this. But first, looks like we have another goal coming. Quebec gets it. It's 3-1. It's Lecision, assisted by Kaminsky and Sakic. So Quebec trying to pull away. Okay. Let's see here, I'm on 26, so I need to go to 31 on my cable system. Shane McClanahan pitching for the Rays. As this game rolls along. Oh, we had a penalty. High sticking against Olin Nolan. So Tampa Bay with 2 minutes with a 5-on-4. Tripping, Erickson. So it's now 5-on-3, I do believe. Yes, it is, or at least it will be for about a little bit more. Now it's 5-on-4 for about a minute. Tampa Bay not that far out of it. They only need 2 goals to equalize. Down to 10.5. Of course, the last time they played in Quebec bitch-backed them 7-1. Under 9. Tampa Bay actually leading on shots now. Actually, that's bitch slap. To bitch slap somebody. Cross-checking against Podine. Tampa Bay back on the power play. Not bitch smack. Bitch slap. Kenny Johnson called for tripping, so they give their advantage right back up. And that is not an endorsement of cross-gender violence. Let's put it to you that way. It is an expression. It is nothing more. Okay, about 6 minutes left in the second period. Still 3-1 on shots in favor. 3-1 on goals in favor of Quebec. 22-18 in favor of Tampa Bay on the shooting. Now down to 3 minutes. I think the next goal here will be key as to who wins Game 5. Who's going to get that next goal? It's looking like it might be Quebec. 4-1. Olin Nolan assisted by Erickson and Camdery. So it's looking like Tampa Bay will be going back down to the Dome in Game 6 to try to save their season. 20 minutes left. It's 24-20 on shots in favor of the Bolts, but they trail 4-1. playing all these games in the series. Kovalenko tripping. Tampa Bay on the power play. It's not like they haven't had opportunities, but they give it right back, roughing against Brian Bradley. Come on, Brian. Two and a half minutes gone by in the third. It's 4-1. Game 5. Series is even at 2 games all. Earlier, Dave Gardner said, "Go Quebec." And the Lightning get one back. Zamner, Bradley, and Alfredson assisted 4-2. So you never know. That 3-goal lead again could be rearing its ugly head. You never know. 12 minutes left in the third, as I will walk over here. So if something has happened, I don't know it yet. Swing the fan around so I could get some cool air. Okay, so let's see what happened. We have fighting. Nolan and Kennedy put up their dukes and got down to it. That's always good. Helps morale each way. Midway through the third, it's still 4-2. Very close game now on shots, 28-25. Hammerlick playing good in left defense. His game rating right now, 71. So if Tampa Bay could get one more, this last part of this game could get interesting. About 5 minutes to go. About 3.5 minutes to go as both teams shooting the puck around. About 3 minutes left now. Could be an elimination game coming up for Tampa in the next game, which would be Game 6, which would be in St. Petersburg. 29 shots to 27. Under a minute now. Empty net for Tampa Bay, and Quebec feasts on it. Kamensky, Nolan, and Sakic assist. 5-2, so you could put this one in the win column for Quebec. And that'll give them a 3-2 series lead. And that'll do it. Kamensky, Sakic, and Nolan all get stars, all from Quebec. Johnson had a goal and an assist in this game, but Forsberg, his plus-minus was 2, so they mentioned him. And now it's do or die for Tampa Bay. Mike Gartner had a good night as the Rangers beat Hartford 7-0. Do we have any more updates? I don't think we do. I think I read that one. So this is it. Do or die for the Lightning. They trail 3-2 in this 1995 first round series. Quebec comes to the Thunderdome with a chance to wrap it up. Hextall and Casey, they have been the goalies all series long, so they are again here. Drop the puck and let's go with Game 6. Quebec now up 3-2. So Tampa Bay needs to win to force a Game 7. If Quebec wins, that ends the series because that's their 4th win. And they will go on and play whoever won between the Islanders and Capitals. 3 minutes gone by, first period. No score, no shots. Tampa Bay finally gets the first shot. The heat level on each goalie is still 3. Quebec gets the first goal. They draw first blood. Sakic unassisted. It's 1-0 in favor of Quebec. Great year of progress for the Lightning, win or lose. They played 2 overtime games already, and they won a game in overtime, won the third game in overtime. Interference against Dean Kennedy. So the Lightning are not off to a good start. Too early to be going on vacation once you make the playoffs, boys. And let's see who picks up the second goal. And that would be... Who would that be? I hate the long animations. It's Quebec. It's Quebec. They got that 2-goal lead at St. Petersburg. Kamensky, Forsberg, and Sakic on the assist. And it's an uphill battle now for Tampa Bay. But of course, in this sim, Tampa Bay doesn't know that yet. Potentially. Under 11, first period, shots are 6-3 in favor of Quebec. Starting to look like they will make the final 8. In fact, looked like the Lightning had a scoring chance. They have one again now. And they get it. So they very quickly answer. Hodge, assisted from Anderson, 2-1. Don't make your vacation plans yet, folks. Shots now 6-4, about 9 minutes left in the first. Quebec coming right back, we think. And they get the 2-goal lead again. Gusarov, assisted by Forsberg and Lecision, and it's 3-1 Quebec. Quebec is just one of those teams you wonder how was it they never got to a Stanley Cup. Because they were always contending in the 80s and the 90s before I think they moved to Phoenix. Always a good team, always had to bring your A game to beat them. So Tampa Bay, can they answer and make it a 3-2 game with 5 minutes left in the first period? And they do. Hodge, assisted by Bureau. This is kind of like the second period of the game Saturday between the Lightning and Hurricanes, where each team got 4 goals. Hooking, Huffman, Tampa Bay on the power play. Under 4. First period, 10-9. Tampa Bay leading on shots. Now it's 11-9. About 2 minutes left. Hammerlick playing another good game in left defense. His game rating already up to 62, and we haven't gotten through a period yet. And Quebec answers. So we go back and forth and back and forth. Sedin, assisted by Lecision, 4-2 in favor of Quebec. So that was a wild first period. We had 22 shots and 6 goals. You kind of wonder how long Tampa Bay will stick with Casey here. He keeps giving up goals like he did in the first 4. Go through his wickets. Game 6, win or go home for Tampa Bay. And so far it's edging towards going home. Coming up on the 4-minute mark of the second period. 12 all is the shot total. Having another good game is Johnson of Tampa Bay. He plays left defense. Quebec edging ahead on the shot total. Now, Quebec, if they get it, it's a 5-2 game, which they do. Sundin, assisted by Kovalenko and LaPointe. How long are they going to stick with Casey now that they've given up 5? He is still in the he is still in the game for now. Hooking on Kovalenko, Tampa Bay could come right back. They have a power play. Under 12. Shots are 16-12 now. Midway through the second. 16-13 your shot total. Tampa Bay Rays have just evened up the score against Washington, 2-2. In the bottom of the first. That's in real time as I record this. Fighting Kennedy and Nolan. Well, they know each other well by now. A little midway through the game, it's 5-2 Quebec. If they win the series. Game 6. If you are just joining us, I will recap again. Well, first, let me see what happens here with Tampa Bay. They get a goal. Creighton assisted by Crossman and Veritsky, 5-3. The first game went Quebec's way, 3-2 in overtime. Then they won the second, 7-1. Tampa Bay won the third game, 3-2 in overtime. Then they won the fourth, 3-0. Quebec won Game 5. I did not remember what the score on that was, but it was Quebec convincingly. I think they won by 2 or 3 goals. Now they're up 5-3 in Game 6. We have a holding penalty against Veritsky. So Quebec on the power play. Actually, it's looking like it's 5-on-3. That may not be accurate. Looks like they have it right now at 5-on-4. 25-18 is now your shot total. If Tampa can get the next goal, could be a very interesting third. It's 5-3. It's 27-19 on shots in favor of Quebec. Start the third period of game number 6, which Tampa Bay needs to keep the series going. You lose at home, you are done, at least at this stage. Of course, in real life, we got a big Game 6 tonight between the Bruins and the Islanders on the NBC Sports Network, which will not be around after 2021. Not much happening. About 6 minutes gone by. Shots are now 28-25. Hooking against Nolan, or holding against Nolan. Tampa Bay with a power play. Could really use a goal here. Want to make it a 1-goal game before too long. And good power play penalty killing by Quebec as they have that power play expire. Looked like Tampa Bay got about 3 shots on goal. 11 minutes left in the third. 29-29 now on shots. Under 10, third period. Could be the last game of the season for the Lightning. It's beginning to look that way now. 9 minutes to go. Had a great season this year. And in 2 weeks, if the score holds, we'll start the campaign of 95-96 for Tampa Bay. Tripping against Nolan, Tampa Bay with another power play chance. Although the power play has not been too kind to them in this series. Tampa Bay now leading on shots. And here's a scoring chance. Well, if Quebec gets this, stick a fork in the Lightning, they are done. Huffman, assisted by Ledyard and Young, 6-3 Quebec. And it's starting to look like it's going to be wait till next year for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They are down 6-3 with 4 minutes to go and change. So a good year for Tampa Bay. And you can't... Well, we'll just wait and see what happens here. Lightning quickly go down the ice and they get a goal. Could get interesting yet Rice, assisted by Johnson, 6-4. Can't take anything away from Tampa Bay to make the playoffs and be the first team of the expansion wave of the 90s to make the playoffs, at least in this sim. But they need another one here. 2 minutes to go. Minute and a half to go. $30 to go. And Auld Lang Syne for Tampa Bay. Quebec's going to advance 4-2. They win game 6, 6-4. Entertaining game. It was Forsberg, Hodge, and Sundin getting the stars. And that'll do it for Tampa Bay. No, I don't want you to play the all the playoffs. I want you to watch the playoffs. We'll pay attention to that. And we're going to come back next week and bring you the Stanley Cup Finals of 1995. So Tampa eliminated 4-2. They put up a good fight against Quebec, but they come up short. This has been Big Paulie coming to you, wishing you well. We got this done in 1 hour and 16 minutes. Godspeed and God bless. We'll do it all again soon, Lord willing, and if the creek does not rise. Bye-bye for now, everybody.